Can a tiny electric car match the charm of a vintage Jaguar? Citroen Army is a small electric car that you can drive in France from the age of 14. It's priced around £5,500, just like a 17-year-old Jaguar S-Type V8. So let's go through Citroen Army. The back looks like the front, making the whole car seem like a toy. It feels kinda flimsy, like you could accidentally lean on it and squish it. The wheels are 14 inches big, with plastic trims on top of steel. Not sure about the reflector, looks like it was just stuck on. Oh, and there's an air bump like the ones on the bigger Citroen cars. Now let's check out the door. It opens backwards, like an old Fiat 500, and those circular door mirrors give it a retro vibe. At the back, they're red for the brake lights. The body panel is the same all round, which helps Citroen save money on making this car. They don't have to design a different front and back. It's also cheaper to insure because the parts cost less. You can just put the front on the back and the back on the front, change the lights, and you're good to go. It's a mirror image left to right too. If you come around here, you'll see a door actually opens that way because it's flipped funny. Now let's talk about performance, because obviously that's not what the Army is all about at all. Anyhow, you've got an 8 horsepower electric motor that drives. The Citroen Army is powered by a single-speed gearbox that drives the front wheels. It also has a 5.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which can fully charge from empty using a normal 3-pin socket in just 3 hours. This gives the car a driving range of 45 miles. The Citroen Army goes from 0 to 25 miles per hour in just 7.38 seconds. Now, for the eighth of a mile, 19.33 seconds. Almost there for the standing quarter mile. This thing did a quarter mile in just 35.53 seconds. That's a record for the slowest car. With such incredible performance, you're going to need some pretty beefy brakes. Unfortunately, that's not what the Army has. At the front, you've got disc brakes at least, and they fit inside these 14-inch wheels with a few inches to spare on either side. So they're probably about 10 inches in diameter. At the back, you've got drum brakes. Now let's do a brake test from 25 miles per hour, which is also 45 kilometers per hour, and see how long it takes this little Army to stop. Now, let's talk about the car's incredible chassis. It's made out of a steel box section, and it will use engine motor braking to slow you down if you start to go down a steep incline, so you can never go faster than the limited top speed. Now let's take a closer look at the interior of the Army. Because of all this glass, it's a bit like being in a greenhouse. You will absolutely end up sweating buckets, and there's no air conditioning. All you've got is a fan, which makes quite a racket but actually doesn't blow that hard. We suppose you can open up a window, but it looks old, so you can get a bit sweaty in there. There are some practical additions on the dash. There's a cup holder there, and look, there's a little cubby just there. There is an area for pens. You can hang a bag off there. Door bins are massive, though absolutely huge. The seats aren't too comfortable either, considering there's not much of them. Now you can't move the passenger seat. You can't recline the driver's seat at all, but you can move it forwards and backwards. We've got some tech in here. Look, there's a place for your mobile phone. Yes, you have to bring your own tech. There's space for a Bluetooth speaker because there's no stereo in the car. There is a USB input there for charging your mobile phone and a digital driver's display. There are fabric door pulls like in a Porsche 911 GT3. In terms of putting the car in gear, up there's nothing. The orange storage solutions on the dash really reflect badly in the windscreen. There's no ratchet mechanism in a door hinge, so it constantly swings open or shut depending on which way the slope you're part on is going. There's only one windscreen wiper, so while it will clear water from the driver's side in torrential rain, it never actually clears from the passenger's side. So for the passenger, you don't get a great view looking forward. There's no central locking on this car either. you have to use a key. The Army doesn't have a rear view mirror, and because the side mirrors are rather small, you rarely want to see behind you. If you really want to see behind you, you have to just turn around and look over your shoulder. A bit like if you're on a motorbike. You know how in most EVs you carry the charging cable in a bag in the boot and it eats into your luggage space? Well, there's actually a little space for the charging cable in the Army. Get in from out there, plug it in the wall, then you just put the cable back in there when you're done. The Citroen Army has a turning circle of just 7.2 meters. By comparison, the turning circle of a London cab is 7.6 meters. As a result, this Army is super maneuverable, and if you want to, you can use it as a little merry-go-round. Not only can you drive it from the age of 14, you can actually hire one for 25p per minute. Now, by comparison, a Lime bike is 15p per minute, but obviously the Army can seat 2, so 2 Lime bikes will be 30p. So this is cheaper to rent per person than a Lime bike. Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, if you're 14 years old and live in France and you want a cheap EV, go right ahead and buy the Army. After 4 years on the market, Citroen Army is getting a makeover with a new night sepia color, a rich dark brown that adds strength and substance while keeping its unique charm intact. Since April 2020, over 50,000 Citroen Army vehicles have been sold across 14 countries, making it a true social phenomenon that's reshaping how people move in cities and their outskirts. Citroen Army has been a pioneer in addressing the challenges of micromobility and energy transition. It's an affordable EV designed for 2 people, offering safety and comfort, and in some places it can be driven without a driver's license from as young as 14. To celebrate its success, Citroen is updating its range. The new Peps model combines the best features of the tonic and pop versions, sporting a stylish design with vivid colors, graphic accents, and practical accessories that make daily life easier. They've also improved the cargo version with My Cargo Kit, an accessory that adds versatility by allowing users to switch between carrying passengers and maximizing cargo space without removing the passenger seat. To celebrate its 4th anniversary, Army is sporting a brand new color across its entire lineup, replacing the original blue. This new hue, Night Sepia, is a deep, dark brown that gives Army a more commanding presence and a fresh personality. It's a versatile shade, blending elements of brown and gray, adding depth and quality while offering a warm and natural feel. Night Sepia perfectly complements Army's various color animations and stickers, creating an ambiance that's both elegant and relaxed, depending on how it's styled with other colors and materials. So share your thoughts on this with us in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons. Until next time.